Hey everyone, it's Ashley. Welcome back to my channel, and today I'm gonna try and film this empties video, which this basket is really heavy and overflowing. So I don't know if this is gonna be organized in any fashion, to be honest. I might just start pulling things out and talking about them. And I feel like I should leave the candles for last because they're probably the heaviest, but I don't wanna like drop them on the floor. I don't know. I see some hand soaps on top and some body washes, so I think I'm just gonna start there. So I have, this is probably from like at least November and December, at least. I've started setting my January stuff into a separate pile. So it's nothing from January, but it's at least November and December. So this kind of might be fall winter themed. So anyway, first we have a pumpkin apple hand soap. The notes on this are red delicious apples, fall pumpkin, and clove buds. One of my favorites for fall, honestly. Like, have to have this every single year. Just a total staple. I absolutely love it. So yeah, will 100% repurchase. And then we also have a pumpkin pecan waffles. This one is maple syrup, golden waffles, and pumpkin spice. I feel like you're probably, if you're familiar with Bath and Body Works, you're probably familiar with pumpkin pecan waffles, but this one is a little bit more pumpkin forward and sweeter. Honestly, could take it or leave it. I just had this sitting around, so I was like, let's use it up during the fall time. Okay, I see some more down here, and I think one of them's a Halloween. Oh, well, this one's right on top. Let's just talk about this one. So this is a Scentsy hand soap, and it's in the scent Bright Cider Life, which is harvest cider, pumpkin, and red apple. So yummy, so delicious. Honestly, we used this pretty much into like the beginning of December. So it took a little bit longer to use up than like I probably wanted to for the fall season, but we used this at work in the women's bathroom. Loved it, no complaints. No one ever really complains about the things I provide, but anyway, I really love this fragrance. Prefer it in wax, but hand soap, it was nice. Okay, can I get to these? Okay. At the bottom. Okay. So I have a Halloween soap. We have Vampire Blood. This is red berries, night blooming jasmine, and petrifying plum. Corey really liked this one, so he wanted to pick it up for Halloween. I'm sure we used it a little bit past Halloween because it probably took us not quite the month of October to use it up, but it was actually decent. I would probably get it again for Halloween, especially if he likes it. Some of the Halloween scents really I'm not a fan of, but this one was like a nice deeper berry. It wasn't too obnoxious, so I would get that one again. And then we also had an afternoon apple picking, which I feel like kind of kicked us off getting into the fall season. So this is probably one of the older ones in here. And it was clearly on the bottom. It's crisp apple, succulent pear, and cinnamon. I like this one. And I generally pick this up because I feel like Corey likes it because it's very apple forward. If I had to pick between like this and pumpkin apple, I'm picking pumpkin apple. So that's my thoughts on that. Okay, maybe next, let's do some body washes because I think that's like the next thing. Well, I have a hand sanitizer in here, which is like hand soap adjacent, I guess. This is the antibacterial moisturizing hand sanitizer in Champagne Toast. This, do they still make them? They make the moisturizing now, and they don't make the non-moisturizing, like the clear ones with the little blue beads. Those ones are my favorite. The moisturizing ones I cannot stand because when you like don't use them for a while, the pump gets so disgusting, and it like pumps out this weird like all the white like cakey stuff. I don't know if you can like see in there. It almost looks like the texture of whiteout. That gets all clogged up in like the pump, and then as you pump it out, it like gets on your hands, and it doesn't like rub in. It just like flakes away. It's really gross. So I have this at my work desk for its life, and I did that because initially I was like, it'll be fun, it'll be different. But the texture of it, I feel like really turned people off from using it, myself included. And Champagne Toast is just not one of my favorite scents. So I love this style, hate the formula. I wish they had the old formula where it was the same as the pocket backs in that size. So they do not anymore, according to my knowledge. Okay, I think I have 2 of these here that are mine. So I have a vanilla bourbon from Scentsy that I used up. This is vanilla bourbon and nutmeg. This is an old packaging, so you can tell I've had it for a while, but it was nice to use up during the fall. Also used up a country apple. This is one of Corey and I's favorites. This is juicy apple. Oh, apple blossom, fresh something, sheer sunlight, orchard woods. This is just really good. It's just like a kind of a straight up apple with, it's artificial. It's not like edible apple, it's definitely artificial, but it's really yummy. This comes around sometimes for SAS, so picked up those, or went through those. Okay, and then these 2 I think are just Corey. So he went through a Whiskey Reserve and an Ocean. He enjoys the men's line, but he prefers the ones that have no dye, which I think was maybe one of these was like dye free. Some of them now in the men's line are coming out dye free, and he really prefers that. So yeah, he used these up, and now he's using one that's completely black packaging. You can't see through it, like where the soap is at, which the panner in me, that drives me nuts. But anyway, I think I have a pocket bag down here. This is kind of like grody, but this is very, very old. I found it in an old purse. It's mahogany coconut. Love the scent of mahogany coconut, so had to pull that out. Okay, I think we can move on to home fragrance after this couple of miscellaneous things. The combination of glass candle jars and glass wallflower jars is just, it's a yikes. Okay, so a couple of like body care-ish things. I went through a Tend Skin, which this is for ingrown hairs, razor bumps. It's basically like isopropyl alcohol combined with some things, but it really helps with razor bumps. You know, when you like get out of the shower from shaving your legs, and maybe this doesn't happen to everybody, but I would have this like not quite burning sensation, but like you can tell your legs are very irritated. You put this on it and it really helps cut down on like the irritation, especially if it like would last or persist. I really need to go buy some more of this. I've had luck finding it at Target, but if you just look up Tend Skin, it should look just like this bottle. So then I also finished a perfume. I finished Skylar's Desert Glam. This was one of the scents that came in the Skylar Club in the like monthly box. Why have they not released this in a full size? I have one more of these, and I should have bought so many more. I freaking love this scent. They are rollerballs, but oh, it is just so good. It really reminds me of like, it's in that Baccarat Rouge type family, which you probably know I'm obsessed with if you're not new here. So yeah, I wish I had more of these, but I finished up this one and I'm really happy I did, because I feel like I do this thing where I hoard everything. So I was like, you know what, this one's almost gone. I'm just gonna use it. I can bust out my fresh one, but then after that, that's all I have. So okay, let's maybe get into these candles to start getting them out of the way, I'm thinking. So this one's just kind of on the top, so I'm gonna go here. This is Homeworks Harvest Bake Shop. This is creamy pumpkin, crushed gingerbread, sugar, molasses, whipped buttercream. As you can see, there's nothing in it, which means I popped it out and finished everything remaining in the crock. This smells like absolutely nothing because it's just an empty candle jar, but I'm pretty sure I enjoyed this one. I feel like it was kind of just like a spicy fall scent. Not quite super bakery, but kind of just like on the edge of bakery spicy. This is one of my favorites. This is Country Apple Butter. This one is caramel apple, sweet vanilla, and toasted nut. I love this one, and it's pretty nostalgic for me because this is the candle I burn on the morning of our wedding day. Corey and I's anniversary is in October, like late October. So I don't know why, but this is just the candle I had burning on that day. It's a very much like carameled apple scent, which I'm obsessed with in the fall. Late October is fall to me, so every time I kind of lit this up, it was just very nostalgic, but I ended up finishing the rest of it in the crock. These were both from the fall. This is from 2022, this is from 2021, which makes sense because that's when we got married. So that one I was just like, I need to kind of work it out of the system, if you know what I mean. Okay, maybe I can set these down without being too aggressive. I should not have let this pile up. Also, my desk is incredibly messy, so I don't really have anywhere to set things down, so it's kind of my own fault. Let's just stick with the Homeworks theme. I have a Homeworks hot cider donut, which I do believe this is my last one of these. I think I had one other that I maybe gave to my mom. This is harvest apple, cinnamon sugar, vanilla bean, and spice cider. And once again, the rest of it got popped into the crock. But I do believe I burned it to like probably right here based on just like how the inside looks. I can kind of tell right here is where I popped the wax out. So about halfway. I've had a love-hate relationship with this in the past. Some years I absolutely love it. Some years I'm super, super sick of it. This year I had found that the earlier in the year I burned it, the happier I was. And the later the season got, like that's when I had typically tried burning it in the past, was more like October, November. This year I really kind of focused this like August and early September, just to like work through it when I was kind of craving these scents before I wanted to get into super fall scents, because this isn't that. And I feel like that's why I was getting so sick of it in years past. So that's how I used it this year. And then, like I said, I popped the rest of it in the crock. This one has a decent lid, so I probably will save that lid, to be honest. And then we have one more Homeworks. We have this deep dish apple pie, which is a 3-wick from Homeworks. This lived its life in the crock, as you can very well tell. This is gooey apple nectar, cinnamon, vanilla, and pie crust. I burned this. You can tell I've burned this based on the wicks. I think I burned it once. Didn't really do anything for me, and I was like, I should just pop this in the crock. It'll have so much more scent, so much more life. You know the drill. This did not smell like anything in the crock, but I also had the hardest time with this in the crock. It was almost like, and maybe you can tell kind of how it's messy, like you can tell I messed with this a little bit. It's not like an even melt. The top of this almost was acting like it didn't want to fully melt. There'd be portions of it where like the wax would pool a little bit, but then there'd be a portion where it was like very hazy and looked like it wasn't almost fully melted, which I personally felt like was not helping the scent escape. Like it was prohibiting the scent from getting out, because I don't feel like it hardly smelled in the crock, and I don't feel like I could get it to melt fully, which is so weird because I have no problems with my other Homeworks wax. And would this not be the same? I don't know. It was a very, very interesting situation. I've melted Homeworks 3-wick candles in my crock before, and I don't remember having these issues, but that one can't recommend, just being honest. I have a country candle. So this is Country Candle Welcome Home, which I ended up finishing off in the crock. I think I ended up finishing this one in the crock just because I was kind of over it. A couple things. This is the Country Candle Paraffin line, so it's just a little bit dirtier of a burn than some of these other candles I'm talking about. This one is a very like deep spicy scent. It doesn't have notes, but it's very deep, it's very spicy, it's very welcoming in the fall time for sure, but it can start to be a little bit overpowering fairly quickly. So I just popped it in the crock, enjoyed it for multiple days, and kind of finished it up there. And it was one of the older ones in my collection, so I wasn't super attached to hanging on to it, if you will. Then we have a pumpkin bonfire, which has some wicks. I think what happened here, this looks kind of funny because it's not completely full, but if you can see the wicks, they're not actually burned. I think I used this a little bit under my candle crock, under my candle lamp, poured some of it off, then put it in the candle crock, and that's why it's not like completely full and looks kind of funny. But this is white pumpkin, a bundle of clove buds, and glowing embers. This is nice, but honestly, I don't think it's my favorite. Like, it's more pumpkin and it's like a smoky note. If I'm gonna go for smoky, I should just stick with Marshmallow Fireside. And if you're not new here, you probably already know I'm more team apple than team pumpkin, so I just don't think this actually fits into my tastes like I thought it did. And then, very sad to see this go, this is one of my all-time favorites. This is Toasted Vanilla Chai from Bath & Body Works, or White Barn, whatever you prefer. This is herbal chai, toasted vanilla bean, and marshmallow. Look at those oils on the bottom. I burned this for a good while. You can tell the wicks are not very long there. I loved this packaging because it was kind of luminary, which I don't know if you'll be able to tell, but like some of these were luminaries, so like as the candle was lit, you could see it through the packaging, which I thought was so beautiful. This is from 2021. I feel like they went through a little phase where they did just a few luminaries and people went nuts over them, myself included. But this is just such a yummy scent. But at some point I just had to put it in the crock, so that's what happened here. That's definitely why it looks so funny on the bottom here, but this ended its life in the crock, which you can clearly tell. Do not relight this candle if your candle looks like this. This will make your glass shatter if you light this, because those wicks are way too close to the edge. I'm not recommending you light up your candle after that. Okay, and then it looks like I have 6 wallflowers and a room spray. The room spray is Apple Pumpkin from Yankee. Can you guys tell I'm really into this type of scent? Use this up in the women's bathroom at work. The only place I can go through room sprays, honestly. And then right off the top, Bath & Body Works Wallflower Pumpkin Apple will repurchase 100%. This doesn't have a label, so I'm guessing it's a warm apple pie. Yes, this is a warm apple pie. I got this in a duo pack, and one of them I'm still actually finishing, but warm apple pie is so yummy. Pistachio and toasted vanilla. I actually don't think I liked this one as much as I thought I would. It's just salted pistachios and toasted vanilla almonds, but it kind of smelled like, I wanted it to be more bakery, and it was almost more along the lines of perfumey. Like it wasn't perfume, but it was just not as much bakery as I was hoping. Finished up pumpkin s'mores. This was like exactly what it sounds like. Not quite the pumpkin bonfire, but pretty close, honestly. Roasted marshmallows, melted chocolate, and pumpkin graham cracker. This one completely blew me away. I was super obsessed with it, so I actually would rebuy that one if it came back. It smelled really yummy. And then this one is Happy Hanukkah, but it has some notes. It's pillowy fried donut, sweet jelly filling sprinkled with powdered sugar. A lot of people said this was really close to the like wild berry jam donut scent there was. It was definitely like a blueberry scent. I had this going at work for a little bit. I generally rotate my wallflowers around, so they kind of get a little bit of exposure to everywhere, but people at work were like, is this blueberry? Like, what is this? This is the one I could tell you from this bunch that definitely got comments. Not necessarily compliments, but comments for sure. And then the last one I have in here is Together Weather, and it has a little bit in the bottom because I think I was just like, I can't do this anymore. It's Blushing Breeze, Sugared Cardamom, and Soft Cedar. I think this one would be very nice in like a body wash, body care, etc., which I think I have it in, but in this format and just in a home fragrance versus body care scent, I did not love it. So I tried my hardest, but I think in the end I ended up just switching it out because I was like, I cannot deal. I did my best. I got through a pretty good amount, but I couldn't deal with it anymore. So that is everything. Thank goodness. I have a little mess to clean up now, but I'm so glad I went through all of these things with you guys. Let me know what you guys are working on down below. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.